Check sound. Let's check sound again. Let's check sound. Come on, come on, come on. Where is it? Check sound. Okay, here it is. Alright, guys. Sorry for interrupting my previous live stream. Something happened. I had to quickly react to it. That is why it ended abruptly. But here we are continuing. So again, for those that don't know me, my name is Hightech. We talk crypto here, and just in between the lines, I will be explaining what Hightech meme coin is, and Jesus is king. And let's go. So yeah, everything is organized. So my apologies, guys, for ending it like I ended it, but I had to really react very quickly. And yeah, so I was talking about what I was talking about was Bitcoin dominance breaking down very nicely, very nicely, very convincingly. I was talking about December 1st, announced by Fed, quantitative easing announced by Fed. So no speculation about this. It's not any sort of speculation. And actually, those are facts. Those are things that literally will happen because they have been scheduled. And yeah, when we could go over to the right charts, we can see that every single time quantitative easing started, it kicked off a huge altcoin season. So, and last time quantitative easing ended what was in 2021, and since 2021 we are definitely in a bear market in the altcoin market. So yeah, there is 100% correlation so far. So apparently the chances that we will get literally the first week of December quite nice moves up, across the board. The chances are really high, statistically speaking, really high. And who knows, maybe the growth we are seeing right now is already a reaction to that. It should be like that because markets, generally speaking, try to react 6 months prior to the event, sometimes even 12 months prior to a given event. So yeah, we should see the market already reacting to it. And given how shaken out it just got, mostly 10th of December, the pumps will be of absolutely epic proportions. So that's what I'm waiting for right now, and I have a very hard time imagining any other outcome, to be perfectly honest. So it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. What we are witnessing here looks like this. Like I've been waiting for so long, right? It's been how long has it been since here until here? Over 2 months. Over 2 months. And mind that since we approached 57.2, I was expecting like literally maybe several days of a bounce and then a continuation. Meanwhile, it went on a trip for over 2 months. So things like that are especially tiresome. How's the connection going, by the way? It's good. It's good enough. I wanted to live stream through Rumble Studio today, but for whatever reason it didn't really work well, so that's why I decided to roll with YouTube alone today. Through Rumble Studio, I was live stream to X, Twitch, and Kick at the same time. Anything else? Have I skipped anything? Anything? And Rumble itself, of course, too. Yeah, I skipped Rumble. Rumble, Twitch, Kick, and X. And YouTube. Two YouTubes, actually, because in the horizontal and vertical mode. but not today. Not today. It just wasn't working well. It was giving me like 3 to 5 frame rates per second. So that's definitely not enough to give you guys a smooth experience on the other end. So yeah, I decided to actually skip it. But yeah, I posted on my X anyway about this live stream, so that should help slightly. So here we are continuing with downward pressure on Bitcoin dominance, which is good news for altcoins, and apparently things are getting up for something greater. Hence the title. No, the last title was something big is coming, and this one is a huge contradiction, and I will be talking about that contradiction fairly soon after I review what is up in the charts. So this one is of course others chart, which is supposed to be representative of all of altcoins, with exclusion of top 10. This is not the most representative altcoin chart, but the most representative one I have access to as of now. Much better is totally 100, totally 50, totally 100. Those are the charts. If you have access to, let's say, to those in full size, complete, then that's the right way to go. If you want to analyze what is actually happening, they give you a much better depiction of what is going on. So here seems like we're having a bounce. Let's say when we consider the last 3 daily candles, looks like maybe we have some sort of a rounding bottom here. Let's go to greater resolution, so lower time frame. I heard that it doesn't look as obvious, but apparently it's getting stopped out, right? This downward move is getting stopped out. We do not see any battery smooth, cuts through levels of support, through zones of support. So of course, that's what we should count on in the support band, and it's literally happening. So that's good. Let's take a look at SPYX because the traditional market is not trading yet. So SPYX, okay, SPYX. Upon opening, it was red. I mean, shortly after opening, it was red, the daily candle, because this one trades 24/7. And now it has flipped green. Interesting. So maybe TradFi is not going to have the worst day neither. Because when this daily candle was red, the downward momentum looked bad. When it flips green, it gives a much better impression. So it could be that a lot will depend on how SPY actually opens, or S&P 500 actually opens, how it starts its trading session today on Wednesday. Well, as Alessio Castani said, yeah, it could see some sort of a correction, because it's been in a very steady uptrend for quite a while without any significant correction. So the time could be overdue for it. But on the other hand, it's also possible that nothing really serious happens, because all of those fears are mainly tied to a performance of AI stocks. And just as Kevin pointed out yesterday, usually bubble territory is when there is of around 5% GDP size of investment in it. And right now we are at 1 to 2.5 at most. So that historically speaking, that's not, bubble bursting territory yet. AI stocks should have much more room to go. And I was discussing it briefly yesterday. What could give the case for it? And fundamentally speaking, like a little bit more, simply words, it's definitely possible. AI is one of those narratives that is very, very difficult to estimate. Um, where is actually the bubble territory? So I think GDP, that could be a good indicator, right? How much money is actually involved in that sector, and compare it against GDP and previous tech bubbles. And that could be a very clever way of telling where we are, where we at. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And I remind you about High Tech Meme Coin. This is the only project I promote on all of my social media, and that's why it translates to kind of a stock market of my social media, with this YouTube channel included, and my main YouTube channel included, and my X included, and all of my Telegram groups, and all of my Facebook groups. So this is a very interesting approach to issuance of a meme coin. So that is why I think this is one of the easiest trades on the whole of internet. I really, really believe that, and I think it will be literally blazing fire once altcoin season kicks in. And as we already discussed, probabilities are sky high. It will happen starting on first week of December. Very, very high probabilities of that occurring. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask them in the live chat. Of course, you have to subscribe to the channel in order to be able to do that, because I don't want bots in the live chat. If I just open it for everyone, unfortunately, bots quickly start to do their job. So that is why that's the only way to actually block them. So yeah, so speaking of the title, right, a huge contradiction. I was watching briefly Crypto Banter. Crypto Banter is one of the biggest guys of the scene. You probably know him. Is this guy Ran Neuner? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And here he posted a video, like 39 minutes 16 seconds, quite a long round, right? But he usually records materials of that length. Same as me, when I live stream it, I usually take at least 20 minutes, around 20 minutes. Those are the shortest live streams I make. Oftentimes I make it like 30, 40, 50, sometimes even over 1 hour. So I'm definitely not for a short attention span. same as Crypto Banter. Ran, that's his name. And as you see, it looks very catastrophic. The thumbnail with the title, but when you play it, when you hear him out, he's not really that bearish. I mean, he points out that technicals look bearish, because they do. Even on my algorithm, we are like dipping one toe in bearish territory right now. We are still not fully there yet. We are not even with one full leg there, but like with the big thumb, sorry, the big toe of one leg, we are. That of course can change any moment. It's nothing carved in stone yet. I remind you, in 2021, we had minus 55% correction, and we still, made it all the way back to, where all-time high was previously, during the same cycle of course, and then went a little bit higher. So, back then, of course, technicals also pointed to bear market starting, and it did not start. So, remembering that time very well, I remained somewhat skeptical. We are really starting a bear market because, same as Rand pointed out shortly after explaining why technicals are bearish, he also pointed out it makes no sense against fundamentals because, the sentiment is really bad. Historically speaking, it never happened that a bear market started when sentiment is bad, and global liquidity is increasing, and QE is literally starting from 1st of December. So it makes literally zero sense for the bull market to be over. And I will add it, of course, once again, on my end, that Bitcoin reserve narrative, in my opinion, has a lot of room for growth. I don't think it's, the saturation point there is really, really high. And when we add on top of it the sovereign Bitcoin reserve narration, then we should have even more room to go, right? So, so of course, the thumbnail and the title are very clickbaitish, but it is what it is. Nowadays, in social media, you will not actually attract attention if you don't do a little bit of clickbaiting. So don't blame anybody for using clickbaits, because otherwise, literally, people they do not click. It must be a little bit of a drama in the title. Like, for example, the one I've chosen today, a huge contradiction. I don't think it's a clickbait good enough. I think I should make it a little bit more dramatic because I always see now there is only 10 views, so it's not performing well. These days you must make it sound like, oh my God, they are just about to kill you, right? And then people will click, unless they are familiar with the content creator, right? For example, I have well over 1,000 subscribers on my Polish YouTube channel, so whatever title I give there, people still click because they know me and they know what I offer, right? They know it's a live content. They can ask me whatever they want at any given time, and I will respond. And that's the uniqueness of my content, right? The uniqueness of my offer here against a static uploaded content that you can only comment on and hope for a response. So this is a huge change. So yeah, so basically we agree. I agree with Ran, which does not happen very often. So he's like a little bit split. He doesn't really knows what to think about it. He literally in this material he says just, you decide. I told you and you decide. In my case, I always give you my take, and I always give you my opinion. What do I think? Which way we will go? I also point out that many times in the past I've been wrong, but also many times in the past I've been right. Sometimes I'm right after a while, and sometimes it's a longer while. So the market can go against what I say and then make up for it, like with Bitcoin dominance, right? I was saying for 2 months, I already say this thing has to break down. For 2 months straight, right? And look how consistently it was going up, right? It was going very consistently up for at least 50 days. And it had those powerful spikes up. While I was every single day, I was saying, guys, just don't bet on this going higher, establishing itself higher, because it goes literally against nature. It goes against logic, against free market capitalism. The trajectory of Bitcoin dominance is zero while it was going up. That is what I kept telling you. While it was going up with those wild spikes, one Black Swan event in the middle of it, like a middle finger. So definitely gave you a lot of opportunity to laugh at what I was saying. But now, as you see, it's making up for that time, and it's finally doing what I've been telling you it will do. And so same as with Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, that's the opposite of what I've been saying is about to do. So I said it will hold, it will have to bounce in a very big way, in a powerful manner. It will have to recover all that downward move it just had, and then probably will go to new all-time highs. I still maintain my position that I will be blown away if Bitcoin does not reach 150K this very year. So we have still, 1 month, around 12 days left, or maybe 13 days. I still maintain that. I still support that. Why? Because charts are strongly suggesting me that's a possibility. But of course, much better bets are in the outcome market. I keep saying that too. Also for a very long time. I mean, not for the whole the all of 4 years, but like for a good 1 year and a half. I keep saying the largest opportunity, the best win-lose ratio lays in the altcoin market, not in the Bitcoin market. And you know what will have been happening, right? What has been happening? Bitcoin kept going up, altcoins kept nailing the floor, right? But it can go against the direction it's supposed to go only for so long. At some point, it will have to come back to the average and get its own bull market, get its own speculative bubble, as every single cycle, and then it will it will not only give back whatever it has taken, since I was recommending to average into altcoins, but it will also give a very hefty profit. Zero doubt about it, because that's the way it is. I know exactly, step by step, detail by detail, how this market works. And I've been in here for 11 years, so I've done my homework, and I live from it. It literally pays my bills. What I do with this market, decisions I take, literally, they pay my bills. So apparently, I must know something about it. So yeah, guys, don't forget about liking and subscribing. That's super important. If you spent your time here with me and you're vibing with me, you like this format of content. Here I have screenshotted one of posts from James Wynn. He says the faster Bitcoin gets to 46K, the better. You don't want a slow bleed. So he's forecasting here 46K. Sharp, fast, max pain, strong bounce, book market, and thank me later. And he says thank me later, but he did not open a short. So that's why my response to it was put your money where your mouth is. So he looks like he's convinced market is gonna go down, but this is his profile on Hyperliquid. I see no short open, and his account is down to slightly above $1,600. Oh my god, this guy, he got beaten up badly. $76 million, oh, $76.5 million went into minus 22,000. Minus 22,018,113 dollars. Amazing, absolutely unbelievable how much money you can lose in futures market. Actually, let me correct myself. You can lose any amount of money in the futures market, and this is a literal proof of it. So yeah, don't listen to guys that can in a very very simple way prove you that they really mean it, yet they choose not to. But also one of very very big growth catalyst right now is that Jim Cramer said, "What a miserable close! Holy cow!" So he's talking about yesterday's TradFi close, stock market close. So hence the S&P 500 close. And it's so funny because this guy he gets it wrong almost 100% of the time, like 95 point I don't know 7 or something among those lines. Like you can easily trade whatever he says, trade the opposite of that, and you'll be fine. And yeah, he said yesterday close was absolutely terrible. So probably we are about to see a bounce. And when we switch over to SPYX, as you see, this daily is flipping green now. Who knows? Maybe it started flipping green literally 4 hours ago. Let me see. Okay, 8 hours ago. Am I right? No, hold a second. Okay, let's measure it a little bit more in detail. Oh, was it shortly after Jim posted? No, it wasn't. Okay, this is ongoing a little bit longer. Yeah, I almost thought it literally started to pump the moment he posted it. That would be super fun. So sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it happens. Like he either says something, like for example, you should buy a stock, and it literally plummets minutes after, or he says you should sell, and then a couple of minutes later everything is into roaring bull mode. I mean the power of Jim Cramer is absolutely unbelievable at times. So yeah, here as you see we are continuing the descent. That's so cool. Altcoins should be accelerating towards the beginning of December. They should be entering into more and more aggressive uptrends. Maybe even the end of December, we will visibly see on the daily or even on the weekly that altcoins just started the rocket. I would not be surprised at all if that's the case. So yeah, interesting picture. I'm super impatient to see first week of December. To be honest, super impatient. I want to see it. I want to see how market will behave. Not knowing that statistics about QE, quantitative easing. So yeah, okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up for now. I wanted to make it short, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I live stream multiple times a day, so like I said, if you like this format, if you're vibing with me here, worry not. I will come back today on air, and we'll be seeing each other again. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a conversation. Because I always love when my viewers interact with me, when they throw some questions around, or I don't know, questions or ideas. I highly encourage you to participate in the live chat, of course. And I also highly encourage you to get yourself at least I don't know, a small amount of high tech, like $1 or $2 worth. I think the asymmetry of this trade is one of the best, if not the best, on the whole of internet. And let's say investing $1 here, you risk pretty much nothing. And if I'm right, it's going to turn into a very tangible amount of money. So yeah. Oh yeah. So